When you imagine a new business, it's easy to focus on the end of the story, the explosive wealth, the global market dominance, and the high-margin products. But the first page of that story is usually a lot messier. In year one, the overwhelming reality for most founders is simply avoiding a total collapse. Success in these early days is often defined by the absence of failure. Moving from that fragile state toward actual stability requires more than just effort. It requires a set of specific objectives to act as a framework for every decision. Without these targets, an organization has no way to prioritize its limited resources. To be useful, a goal has to pass through a specific filter, the SMART criteria. A target must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. A target lacking these 5 attributes leaves an organization with no clear method for tracking progress. The specific target a business chooses changes as it stabilizes, grows, and faces new external pressures. In the startup phase, the baseline requirement is survival. This is the simple objective of continuing to trade and existing for another day. Mathematically, survival often means prioritizing the break-even point. The owner might not even look for a profit in the first year. They are just making sure the money earned covers the total costs of running the business. Even as a business finds its footing, it doesn't always aim for the most aggressive results possible. Instead, it might adopt a strategy called satisficing. This chart illustrates the logic of satisficing. Instead of pushing for the absolute peak of potential earnings, the business aims for a level of profit that is just good enough to keep stakeholders and shareholders satisfied. It's a way to maintain stability without taking the extreme risks required for maximum optimization. In this stage, meeting immediate pressures and keeping the foundation secure is the necessary first step before any larger expansion is possible. Once a company is established, the objective shifts toward profit maximization. This means ensuring that total sales revenue is significantly greater than the total costs of those sales. To achieve this, a business might increase its selling price or source cheaper materials. From here, the focus expands to sales maximization and growth. The goal is to capture a larger market share and gain economies of scale, the cost advantages that come with becoming a market leader. But scale brings internal friction. In large companies, where the shareholders who own the business are separate from the managers who run it, managerial objectives begin to emerge. Managers might prioritize their own status, larger departmental budgets, or higher salaries. Sometimes, these personal goals can pull the company away from the shareholders' primary focus on profit. Growth creates complexity. As a business scales, what started as a single-minded goal often becomes a clash of competing internal agendas. External factors can also force a sudden shift. A recession or a new, fierce competitor can strip away growth objectives overnight, forcing even a giant company to pivot back into survival mode to protect its core business. Today, there is also the pressure of corporate social responsibility, or CSR. Consumers and pressure groups now demand that businesses consider their impact on society and the environment. Pioneers like Anita Roddick of The Body Shop demonstrated that these ethics could be built into a company's core identity. By focusing on sustainable sourcing and animal rights, she built a brand that customers trusted and remained loyal to. There is also a defensive side to CSR. If an organization ignores ethical standards, it risks massive public backlash. Pressure groups can draw national attention to unethical behavior, threatening the business's reputation and its long-term viability. By adopting CSR policies, businesses build competitive advantages. They attract new customers and encourage loyalty, turning ethical behavior into a strategic tool for long-term profitability. This life cycle looks different outside the private sector. In the public sector, like schools or hospitals, the primary objective is the provision of a service. These organizations don't measure success by sales figures. Instead, they focus on meeting the needs of their users while operating strictly within a specified budget. The third sector, which includes charities, adds another layer. Their objectives focus on raising awareness for a cause and maximizing donations, rather than generating a profit for owners. While the legal structures of these sectors are different, the underlying requirement is the same. Every organization needs a clear objective to determine if it is actually succeeding. Business objectives are never static. They are active responses to the economy, the competition, and the demands of stakeholders. To understand why an organization takes action, whether it's cutting costs or launching an ethical campaign, you have to look at the target they are aiming for. Once you identify the objective, the behavior of the business begins to make sense.